Hey, all you hunters and gatherers out there. I am cruising in the hunter-gatherer mobile, and I'm riding, that rifle's riding shotgun. See that name on there? I don't know if you can read it. Weatherby. That's the lovely Mrs. Joy's new rifle. And I just picked it up. I don't know if anybody's ever bought anything on Gunbroker before or ordered from any gun sales place, different gun dealers online or whatever, but they all kind of work the same way. And how it works out is you purchase the gun or rifle and they have to send it to another FFL, which is a federal firearms licensed dealer. They send it to an FFL, then you go there, and then you have to fill out your background check, do the NICS reporting, and they make sure that it's okay for you to buy a gun, and then you buy the gun. Now, most of the places say you buy it off of Gunbroker, and you'll pay shipping and all that stuff, and then once it gets to the FFL here, you will pay them to do the paperwork, which usually is like a $20, $25, $30 fee to fill out the paperwork, do the NICS check, and just for their time or whatever, and then they transfer the gun from their FFL to you. So that's how we did this purchase. We searched around, we looked for a specific rifle, and we were going to buy it one place, we're going to buy another place. Now, I'm not saying to skip out from looking at your local gun dealer. You want to check with everybody. We gotta definitely want to get the best deal you can, especially nowadays with work being difficult and with all that. So I checked with a couple different places, see what they can get me for a price on it. Checked Gunbroker and ended up going through Gunbroker. So it got here within just a couple of days, and it took like 2 or 3 days for us to be able to link up, but I knew it was there in good hands. So when we get to the house, we'll have to take a look at this baby, and you'll see what it is. We had just gotten rid of Joy's Ruger American 243. We were having chambering issues. I'm not saying they're not a good gun. We just had an issue with it. We had a gun shop look at it, and we sent it back to Ruger, and we still had chambering issues. So she wasn't comfortable with it, wasn't happy with it, so we got rid of it and picked something else up. Now, this is a Weatherby Vanguard. It's not a Weatherby Mark V. I think that would have been about $2,500 or $2,700 for the Mark V. So, but this was a pretty good deal, and we were looking to go either with a Weatherby, or we were looking at trying to remember, Savage. They both make a woman-specific rifle, so not just shortening up the stock and calling it good. The ergonomics on it are all women-specific, and so I'm pretty excited about this, and I'll show you. And Weatherby isn't sponsoring me or anything, but if they did, hey. But no, they're not sponsoring me. I'm just telling you from doing some research. They have this rifle. It's called the Weatherby Camilla. Now, this is the Vanguard Camilla. They also make the Mark V Camilla, and the Camilla is the women-specific rifle. Savage has one that's the Model 111 Lady Hunter, and it has some of the same characteristics, some of the same ideas, but we'll get into it when I get a chance. Cruising home, and gonna try to get to the woods. So it's still archery season. It's like 70 degrees out, and it's disgusting. I know it was just like 20 something the other day, and it was freezing, but I just don't like shooting a deer when it's 70 degrees out. But if it happens to happen, then it's happening. All right, we'll show you the rifle later.
Hi guys, I bet you thought you were going to get Jason unboxing the box, but guess what? He has cornered me and he's making me do it because he wants to see the reaction I have of opening this new gun. He has been pressuring me for quite some time about getting a different rifle, and I think it finally came to fruition, is that how you say that? When we were sighting in guns. And I was shooting my 20 gauge and trying to get the butt of the stock positioned just right, ended up bruising my collarbone, and he said, that's it. I'm getting you that rifle that's made for women. So here we are. So I'm going to open the box and see what it's like firsthand. Well, we've got it nestled in here pretty nice. It's all wood except for the barrel, of course, and everything else. It feels really nice. So there's a couple features on here that they did specifically for women. The around the barrel is made for women's hands, so as you can see, it fits my hand perfect. And also down here, same thing. I'm not struggling with it. It's not very heavy, which there's a few times I've held some of Jason's guns and I've been like, oh my gosh, that's really heavy. I can't carry that. The next part is the rest is up higher because women's necks are longer. So I'm going to pull it up and see what it's like. Now that I have the gun positioned correctly, because I'm right-handed, not left-handed, I'm going to insert the bolt. Maybe. And the pull is shorter too because of women's arm length. And I have to tell you, this is so comfortable right here. It just is a perfect fit. Like, I don't even feel like I have to monkey around with the placement of it. The other rifle that I was, or not rifle, the shotgun I was shooting, this is so long, it's either going to come down into my breast or it's going to be up in there in my collarbone. So it's really difficult to get comfortable with it. So this is just, it just hugs my shoulder just right. And right here is perfect too. The cheek comb, I think it's called. Oh, it's so nice. When I'm using the 20 gauge, I'm going like this. I'm cranking my neck over just to get the right placement with the scope. So this is just so perfect. So I guess if any women are looking for a rifle, I would definitely suggest it thus far. So let's just hope that I can get a deer with it next.
Hey, that was a pretty good unboxing from Joy. She was worried she wasn't going to say the right things. She asked me afterwards, was that okay? But I think it was fine. And so now I'm going to mount a scope, and there's a million different ways to do this. There's so many different types of hardware, and I'm not going to bore you with all of it. Right now, what we're doing is I'm kind of going not the most expensive. We had a scope from her last rifle. I'm not really 100% happy with that scope. It did the job, but it's not a great scope. I want to get her better optics for this rifle, but right now is not the time. There's not a lot of options out there. So, and we were going to go with scope rings that have, you know, the bases already on them and a little bit higher quality, but I wasn't 100% sure with the scope that we have, blah, 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 blah. So I went cheap, well, inexpensive and effective. I went with these Weaver Classic scope bases. They're just a 2-piece, and they're going to go on here just like so. This rifle, if you were to purchase one of these rifles, it came with these little caps. They look like screws that didn't have any kind of a tip on them, or like what kind of bit. It's just smooth. It looks like a carriage bolt. And I'm like, oh crap, how do you unscrew those? Well, they were just shoved in the hole. I used a needle nose and popped them out, and there was a lot of oil in there just to keep it from rusting. So just so you know that that's the case. The other thing is, if you are to buy one of these rifles and you're looking for like Weatherby specific, Weatherby Vanguard scope rings or bases, these rifles they take the same bases as a Remington 700 or a Howa 1500. So that is good because it might not say Weatherby on it. This package actually just says Remington 700 and Howa 1500. So you need to know, I don't know if you can see that, but that's what it is. And these are front and rear specific. That's the way it goes on there. And you could put the rear on reverse like this, but it's going to hang over your bolt. So you want it to be, that was probably loud. You want it to be the other way so it's flush with the ends, and that's that. So I'm going to put this scope on. I would suggest blue Loctite on your threads and doing all the other things that you normally do. Leveling the scope, leveling with the rifle so that your scope is not crooked. And that really affects you, especially in a longer distance, because as you raise it up, it's going to make you shoot high and to the left. So that's that. My dog's going crazy, and it's time to put the scope on. This is Joy's setup for this year. We'll be putting a different scope on, hopefully before next season, and probably different rings. I might even put different rings on this year. Just because, if you can see, there's a big gap here between the bell of the scope and the barrel. That should be a lot smaller, like 1/4 of an inch or so. So these are more like high bases, and so I'm thinking mediums or even lows, and I think I want to get those on there just because that way she doesn't have to have her head up high to be able to see this through the scope. I know it can be done. She'll be able to see through it, but I don't like how high they are. So that's that. This is a fairly inexpensive or not quite mid-range scope from Walmart. It's like $100 and some probably. I don't even know if it's that much. It's a center point. It's done okay, but I just don't really like it. It's 4 to 16 power. It's got all these fancy doping pieces to it for, so many mils left and right, like we're snipers or something. And it's got a illuminated reticle, but I'm not super confident in it. So she has shot it. We've used it before on her other rifle. I had it on a different rifle that I've used it on, so it's bounced back around here or there. We haven't put it through a lot of paces, but it has been on, I think, a 270, and this is its second 243 it's been on, and it's performed until it won't. So I don't know, maybe we'll do some testing on it and see how long it lasts, but that's it. This is the Weatherby Vanguard Camilla in 243, and she is excited. I got a text message yesterday when I was bringing it home that she was excited, and it's the most excited she's been about a gun, I think. So this rifle, I'm hoping, will really fit the bill and make her really comfortable at shooting. I don't mind buying something special for her to make it to where she wants to do this more than being uncomfortable. So we can get her out to the range, do some shooting with it, and hopefully she's super confident and she's ready. And that way, when the deer come, she won't have a lot of questions. Let me know down in the comments if you have been considering a new rifle for your wife or girlfriend or significant other or whatever. Like she said, she mentioned a lot of things. Weatherby has videos on this where a bunch of women have discussed it. the length of pull, the cheek comb, the stock, the barrel length, the angle of the buttstock. I don't know if you can see it, but it's really angled down. Another thing is, and I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but if you look straight on, it angles away. So it goes from like her collarbone to over by her armpit instead of straight up and down. And that's one of the issues that she was having with the regular stock. So if you can do something to where somebody's more comfortable instead of saying, oh, get over it, or, you know, suck it up. Those things, I mean, women and men are built differently. Their bodies are built differently, and there's a lot of other things. God knew what he was doing when he created us, and we're not the same, whether people want to say that we are or not. So I'm not saying anybody's less or anybody's more. I'm just saying we're different, and it's okay to accept that. So women have longer necks, they have shorter arms, they have smaller hands, and you know, they're not all muscle up here in the pectoral region, you know, so when that stock comes down in too far, it hurts when they shoot. So buy them something that will make them happy to shoot, make them comfortable shooting. That's it. So I'm super happy that my wife has this amazing tool that she'll be able to go out and enjoy hunting and shooting sports. If there's any questions, put them down in the comments. If there's any comments, well, put them down in the comments. And that's it. If you like this video, please click the like button, share it, let people know. Like I said, I don't work for them. I just know that Weatherby and Savage both make a women-specific rifle. Maybe the other companies do too. I just didn't see it in my research. So if there's other companies, go ahead and list them. And that's about it. Hey, if you could like, share, comment, subscribe, those all would be amazing if you would do that. We're so thankful that you swung by and took your time to watch this video. Hopefully it was insightful. Hopefully it was enjoyable. And hopefully you'll come back for more, because we'll keep making them. And hopefully we'll be harvesting a deer, a first deer with her first brand new Weatherby rifle. And hopefully, I don't say hopefully anymore. Hey, we love you. God loves you. And we will see you next time. All right. Bye. Happy hunting. Be safe.